Hi, good
Hi,
evening.
good evening, guys. How are you?
All good.
Great, great, great.
Yeah, I was unable to make that this thing. I actually totally forgot about it, and
No, no
then
problem. Mhm.
I made a rough thing with my husband's help.
That's okay, basically. See, whatever you did, because it's like you did it, so you know in and out, right? So whatever you think it through, it is going to help overall to understand how to present first of all, and understand how we can make it better in terms of improvements, in terms of basically how can I improve it, what that data means to me. So that's really important to understand what I'm doing and how to present it, because that's what you're going to do on day in day out, right? So it's basically kind of understanding what I'm trying to achieve and how I achieve it. So it's a two-way thing. I'm just waiting for Rudra on 3, 4, 5. We have two more, but yeah, let's see. So man. Okay, let's skip this thing. After then, who wants to present first? See,
I
at least what we try to do, whatever data you created in Excel, right? Let's first try to understand the data in 1 or 2 minutes, and then try to explain the chart and why you use that type of chart. There's a reason behind particular charts, and we'll understand that. Don't worry, if you're mistaken or and this is not a wrong or right. This is like how effectively you can present, how effectively you can explain. So this this is all about how effectively we can put our thoughts across, and how clearly I can put your thought across. And that's the things which we're going to learn as an as an presenter, as an BA. So we have to basically start learning those things. This is a kind of nth level thing. If you know how to present, if you know how what you thought, that's the best thing you can do, right? So who wants to go first? Whatever you did in Excel, and don't worry, there's nothing wrong or right or wrong. We are just trying to express what we've collected data, how we collected it, or if it's too complex, and just present it to all the top managements, all the guys who are going to work with us on those projects, who are going to understand that vision mission on that project. Let's try to think it like we've done something really big, and we are going to take a minute to explain this to our team, something like that sort. And there's no senior or junior. Means if you look at typical US company, we are working flat. So even you can walk down to the CEO's cabin and saying, "Ki, boss, I want this, I want that," and this happens. Means if you have something like cafeteria, like we used to have a middle room on each floor, where they used to keep the Pepsi, Cola, and other refreshments, right? And it's free of cost. So there's no nothing much in terms of hierarchy there. So you can just drink coffee with your CEO and just ask him a couple of questions, like you want to understand the business state and so on and so forth. So those, like may I know your name? I'm just seeing a number here, 90921450416. uh, Hello, could you please speak up? Hello, there's a participant here who dialed in via phone, and I couldn't get the name of the. Go ahead,
Hi,
please.
this is me, Rupanjali.
Oh, hi, Rupanjana. Sorry. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to take from the the computer, but it was not the volume was not coming, so that's why I dialed with the phone.
But that's okay. You can chat. We can type. See, we are there to solve problem, right? Even as a business analyst, it's our duty to solve problem. Believe me, means the way we normally works, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
don't worry. If we can chat always whenever you feel right, and I can go to chat box. As simple as
अब
that.
खाना
So
Oh,
दे रहे खाना खा के 10 minutes watch कर
okay, no problem. Let's go ahead. Okay. So
okay.
Rudra, are you there? The RS is your login, Rudra.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Thanks. So, for you, we'll just quickly recap the use case thing. I believe you got the videos, right? So, have a look at it whenever you had time. So let's do a quick recap, and then I would request each of you to present, whatever you did, right? So let's do a quick recap in 10 minutes. So what business analysts do, we analyze, we think, we do certain thing to make or understand the business requirement to a document, to a diagram, and present it to others within our group so that they can start building product, they can start working on a project, and they might, start working on support framework if it's a support project. Like, somebody might come to you saying, Ki, boss, we have too much technical, problem in our production. Like we use 7 robots, and these guys, there are quite a few, churning of labor. So you need to really train them first thing in the morning for 30 minutes. So that's a job, and this happens. Believe me, this is the real life scenario which I have experienced. So for 30 minutes, you need to explain them what are these robots do, how to collect data, which pin goes where, and those kind of scenario. It's a simple presentation and in simple talk, and we do this thing. And this is a kind of business analyst job. So you have to understand the business problem. You have to understand what's going on the shop floor. If you're building product, you have to understand how we can improve efficiency, how we can make these guys understand what we are trying to do. And that's it. And they don't normally talk to CIOs and CTOs of the state farms as an Infosys development team. Why then talk? Because we are techie. I'm a techie guy, right? I like to work on my laptop. If possible, I'll go to Timbuktu, work in a really, shorts and all those things. And I really don't want to meet people because as, by birth, technocrats are not, user friendly. Technocrats are not really, friendly guys in the world. Believe me, and this is a fact. Means if somebody wants to say otherwise, be my guest and we can discuss at length, during the WhatsApp call or something like that. But yeah, so for that, what we do, we've created roles called business management, business analyst. Now, these guys, we are not technocrats. As a business analyst, I'm an analyst, I'm a philosopher. I'm a kind of guy who makes the other person understand what I've understood or what the business have proposed as a problem. And this is the solution which we've discussed within our team, right? So there's a business analyst of Infosys going to State Farm and trying to understand the attendance problem, how the attendance leakages are happening, how the attendance, is not following religiously and so on and so forth. So do these things. And then there could be some wish list. There could be some suggestions from client like State Farm also. Let's try to implement iris. Let's try to implement full body scanners and so on. There could be, many wish lists. So I'll collect those as well. I'll try to attach this wish list to the project so that I can build a model. I can build a system requirement specification where I'll collect a kind of, good looking diagram, good looking product, good looking project and present it to my development team. Hey project manager, this is what we've discussed. Okay. And let's try to build a solution for these guys because they are really in trouble and they're ready to pay us, the top dollars or whatever you want to call it. So, let's do it. So then we sit with the project manager, we build a functional requirement specification. And that is a kind of Bible for that product, project or support which they're planning to do, right? You are the guiding authority as an BA, you will help him in advisory capacity. The SRS which is created by you, authored by you, approved by somebody within your organization as per the organizational hierarchy, process charts and so on and so forth. So you want to present this SRS or distribute this SRS to the selected members, can be CIO, project sponsor, project owner, this project manager, solution architect, and as per the organizational requirement, as per the organizational discipline built in quality management services, we distribute this document to these guys and then have a discussion saying, boss, hey, this is what I want to present it to you. Through Excel, that's the normal scenario. Through use case, that's also normal scenario. Through others, as and when organization felt necessary of CIO, CTO wants in those specific tools, right? So we have also started learning tools. Now let's first come down to the first prime and important tool called use case diagram. I believe flowcharts is just let me do a recap on that also. Okay, so we'll basically trying to understand how we use tool, and then we'll try to understand today how to present it as well. Okay, so for Rudra and Sheetal, I would like you to spend some time so that next class Please prepare your, presentation. Please try to explain. Create an Excel sheet with your, last 6 months experience. And, even you can see today, like how, Santosh, Revati and all these guys are doing. They really did excellent job, as we can see on our group. But now the next step is to present that. And as a business analyst, if you know this, you are almost, 75% plus up and running as a BA goes. So I'm really happy for that. Now the other 25%, that's the hard work, that's the sweat, and that's what we're going to learn. We're going to wait a minute. Okay. Somebody. Okay, so we lost Santosh. I believe. Okay, no problem. Hi, welcome, Santosh. No problem. So, what we are trying to do, we are trying to basically be in the shoes of business analysts so that we can really, create our presentation, present it too. So it's kind of, doing totally end-to-end job as an BA. So first tool we seen was a flow chart. What is a flow chart? We are just trying to analyze the events, right? And I have given the Wikipedia link there. Go there whenever you have time. I'll paste this thing in a chat box so you can, copy this and, have a look at that thing whenever you have, free time. Okay. This is a good tool. This is a tool which is there. These tools are basically used by all architect engineers for quite some time. So, just give me a minute, please. Yes, so flowchart is a kind of first tools which is evolved over time, but then we found certain challenges, we found certain problems within these flowcharts, and then we built our better tools, evolved our tools as well. Even flowcharts has been evolved. They are labeled in different names like process chart, activity diagram, and so on and so forth. So flowchart is a kind of singular execution of an event with the decision nodes and alternative paths. Right? This is what you can see. So we are talking about a patient coming in a hospital and trying to get, checks done, trying to get a consultation from a doctor here. So we are starting, patient arrives. If the patient is registered, he can directly, go to reception saying, okay, I'm registered, I have an appointment and so on and so forth. Otherwise, if not, then available nurse will get him registered or, direct him to a specific doctor, right? And this is basically, we are trying to build, trying to show our thought process. So there's no right or wrong here. Only thing is that how well you can present, how well you can explain your stuff, how well you can make the others understand what you're trying to do, whatever you thought, right? So that's the whole ball game, or that's the whole thing which we want to do here. So then the nurse will basically check who is doctor available, or if the appointment is taken already, he'll guide it to the specific doctor. And then if the consultation is over, he or she as a nurse will check if you want to have repeat follow-up appointment and so on and so forth. So this process continues overall. Okay, so there are particular symbols which you use. This is a start as an oval shape. The rectangle box is a process. A diamond is basically a decision point or decision node, we call it. And there are certain arrows which basically depicts the process flow, depicts the event flow, right? Plain and simple. Any confusion in this at this moment?
No.
Okay, great. So we learn this thing 3 times, I believe, but nobody's. This is what we need to understand as a thought process, and we need to work as an BA, right? And so I want to stress on this point. Then there's a next step of flowchart called activity diagrams. Activity diagrams, this started basically building in late 80s, and there's a group of architects who started working on unified modeling language. What is unified modeling language? They try to build some unified symbols to represent modeling, and they call it UML, Unified Modeling Language. It was a free and fair group. Then they constructed a company out of it called Rational Unified Processes. So they really good, did a good job. And then they started charging money. They started really charging exorbitant money. So, people shy away from that. So people gone back to, flowchart and, other things. But yes, couple of things like activity diagram, they, even these guys, given you free. So we could use these things. So what activity diagrams depicts? It depicts a flow of system, flow of event, flow of functionality, right? And then we have a sequence, particular sequence we could explain like flowchart. It's just an extension of flowchart. Only here we have clearly see who is driving what, who is a decision maker, who is a supporting factor, and those type of stuff. And here the depiction or mentioning of start and termination is mandatory. So if you don't mention start and end, then it's not an activity diagram, because activity has to start somewhere, has to end somewhere, or has to go on a pause. Means something has to happen. You can't just leave that thing hanging, right? So those kind of scenario. So we'll just have a look at activity diagram quickly. So there's a order management system type of stuff. A guy, a customer goes to a shop, online or offline, doesn't matter. We just try to keep it simple. So customer goes to online store, customer goes to offline store or shop on a nook and corner. So those can be three different scenarios. So these are activities. Something is doing something. Then he orders something. He he take a receipt. He pays for that. He get the stuff, and then basically check out if the cashier or the point of sale checks out if the order is normal. Get the things packed and dispatch, give it to him. Then he can go, if it's a nook and corner, if it's online, he'll go send it to the dispatch, and dispatch basically took the order to the customer. Okay. And if the order is not special, okay, order is not, that's a good thing. Basically, it's a repetitive order kind of scenario. So that's also can be done. So these are two separate paths I have depicted here. Plain and simple. Any confusion here?
I think you are going very fast.
Okay. Who's this?
Rupanjali.
Who? Only Dipanjali. Okay. Have you there when we explain this thing?
No, actually.
Means I had to almost 1 hour for this. See, this is a kind of review we are doing. Okay, go ahead, please. Sorry.
Sorry?
Were you there when we did this activity diagrams?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think I started attending from last class only, so maybe I missed these things before.
Okay. So there are recordings available. Are you part of a group?
Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday, Devji have shared all the recordings basically. I believe there are 6 or 7 of them. So there's almost, I think I spent half an hour on activity diagram. We did a simple workshop also. I think activity diagram of making tea or something like that sort. Just have a look at that, and you'll get a quite clear idea. It's not that difficult. And if you still have a problem, I am there for you, and we'll discuss it out. Okay? Because all the others we have done the workshop as well, so we know in and out. Even if you're trying to learn, I'm there for you. Just we'll catch up quickly, right? This is specifically I'm doing for Rudra because Rudra was not there, and use case diagram is the most important thing you should learn. So we'll spend some more time on use case diagram rather than activity diagram. It's a kind of next thing here. Okay. So please bear with me. If you have any problem, any difficulties, we can take this thing special session for you too as well. No problem. A special session for you only as well. Don't worry. Just try to watch the recordings. Have a trying to learn by yourself. Otherwise, we'll have a session altogether separately for you. Okay. Please don't worry. Just bear with me for the speed. Okay. There's no confusion right here.
No.
Okay, great. So activity diagram, we're trying to model the workflows using activities. We normally model business requirement, okay? And we are trying to present the high level understanding the system functionalities overall in a sequence of event, right? So this, then this, then this, and this. And then there are certain, factors who are affecting it. There are certain factors who are deciding in between, and the alternative paths, whichever there, right? And we are trying to investigate the business at a later stage. This is not the actually business replication, or trying to understand what the business doing or who is doing and so on and so forth. This is basically trying to understand what are the major functionalities we are trying to implement. Major functionalities are part of the solution, so those things we need to depict so that the client State Farm can really guide me if I missed out any major functionality. This is like kind of overall evolution of a solution. So we evolve solution with the help of client, and then we give it to the development team, right? And this is what as in BA we do. Okay, so that's why the analysis, the understanding of a requirement is a must, and that's how we can call domain expert. So if you are working in a HR field, let's say for an year plus, you know the HR, you know the recruitment, you know the overall what do you mean by selected candidate, what do you mean by backup candidate, and so on. So there are certain lingos and limbos used in all domains, be it HR, be it banking, be it logistic, be it IT for that matters. So this is we learn on job. This is what we leverage, including the domain experts as well. So we have certain people within our organization like Infosys. They are called domain experts, center of excellence, or subject matter experts. They come and they help as in business business analysts to help to understand those domain, to understand the minute changes which we should be worried about, we should be care about, we should really care to, so that we can build better requirement specification document, we can build better presentation, we can present it effectively. So those scenarios, right? Now the one of the most important tool business analysts use is use case diagram. Use case is whatever functionality performed, whoever performs it. So we are trying to understand each and every functionality here. Okay, and then there's a thing called this human looking like figure is called customer. Customer is an actor. Time is also an actor. We'll come to it one by one. Customer is an actor. System, the computer, or the customer support executive, these are secondary actor, these are prime actor. These prime actor work for the system is made for these guys. These guys are helping the whole thing to learn, to run, right? And this is my system. Oh, sorry. This is that rectangular box you can see, that's my system boundary. So whatever I do within system, right? Any confusion at this moment?
No.
Great. So customer is an actor, me myself as an actor, I do certain things, I depict certain things, right? So what we do, we normally as an use case, it describes the system behavior under various conditions as it responds to a request from one of the stakeholders, actors, or prime, basically specifically prime actor. Okay, this is what we have depicted as an order food use case. So who orders food? Customers come to your restaurant, come to your let's say a fast food joint. He search for certain items. Let's say let's try to assume you're going to McDonald's, right? You go to McDonald's, you enter the door. Then when you look up a bit up over the counter, there are some displays of food, price items, and so on and so forth. So you'll decide what you want. Okay, I want to go with fries. I want to go with whatever burger you like. Right, so what you do, you go to point of sale, you go to that guy or girl who's basically taking your orders. You go there, you place your order, right? You pay them, he or she gives you a ticket, right? And you basically wait for a couple of minutes. If you feel it's taking too long, you try to go to another person and try to ask him, could you help me to find my order, why it's not coming through, and so on and so forth. So he can guide you. Okay, boss, it's cooking, it's taking time because it's cold, it's hot, it's whatever it may be. And then you wait for a couple of other minutes, and then you get the burger at the end. You eat there, or you start eating while walking back, and that's the whole process. So the process ends there. So customers search for item, then places an order, and then obtain help from customer support. Now these things, the way he paid and he get a ticket, right? You call it ticket, you call it your order bill, or whatever you want to call it. So those things has given by a person, right? So there's another system in place. It doesn't matter if he or she name, Tom, Dick, whatever you want to call it. These are secondary actors which are supporting the customer. The customer is an actor. So I am trying to build the system for customer, right? So I am trying to analyze these events for customer. Okay, and all the other secondary factors, all the other supporting factor are called secondary actors, and they'll support the whole system. I'll build the functionality according to the within the system boundaries. Those are those rectangular box which are depicted there, right? And then this way I where is that? Okay, this way I build a use case diagram. Okay, there's a good tool called Lucid Charts. Okay, have a look at this Lucid Charts. We had a look at this video. Should I run the? Let's do a thing. Let's do a recap. Let's run. This is, I believe, a 9-minute video, and we'll have a look at it. It's a really good video. I have also shared that with you. But let's have a quick look at it, because we'll understand how the use case diagram works. And this is really a kind of crucial thing. So we will try to build this diagram.
Hi, my name's Chloe.
Wait a minute. So let me share this video. So let's wait for some. I think it's a some 12 minutes video. Just repeat or just revisit ourselves for this use case diagram, because this is each and every of you as an analyst going to do, right? So you're trying to create a use case diagram. You will try. You might do or might not do activity diagrams, or you might or might not do flow charts. But you will definitely do use case. You will definitely work with Excel. That's 101% sure. Okay. So we need to really work or master these tools, these two tools at least, and presentation. Okay. So let's have a quick look at this, UML diagram, so that we can go ahead. We can really do a quick recap kind of scenario. And I would really, like you to understand in depth, right? Could you see the lady?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's do a recap.
And I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about UML use case diagrams. We'll start with a
Keep asking questions if you have any difficulties, right? Especially Rudra, Shitul.
high-level overview. Then we'll talk about systems, actors, use cases, and relationships. And finally, we'll build an entire use case diagram together and go over examples to explain these concepts in depth. Have you ever had an idea that makes perfect sense in your head, but when you try to explain it to someone else, they're completely lost? Maybe your idea is for a new app, and every time you talk about it, people don't really understand how they'd interact with the app or what it would do. This type of scenario is where a use case diagram is very helpful. Here's a simple description of a use case diagram. First, it shows a system or application. Then it shows the people, organizations, or other systems that interact with it. And finally, it shows a basic flow of what the system or application does. It's a very high-level diagram and typically won't show a lot of detail, but it's a great way to communicate complex ideas in a fairly basic way.
So the basic purpose is to communicate independent of personalities, independent of social background. That's how the UML started. That's how the overall, what you mean by unified in the modeling language symbol does, right? So we are trying to communicate. We are trying to put a thought. We are trying to put a vision on a pen and paper. You can do this thing with pen and paper as well. So no worries if you don't have tool. If you don't learn tool, that's also okay. Only you need to present it, right? You need to explain whatever you thought, whatever you devise, whatever you think as a solution to this problem, and the other things as well with this. Okay.
Before we really get into the tutorial, let's talk about how you're going to make a use case diagram. You can draw them out with pen and paper, but a diagramming application is going to be much easier. Today I'll be using Lucidchart, and you can too, for free actually. Just click the link to access Lucidchart's website. Enter your email address, and you'll have a free Lucidchart account in just a few seconds. It's easy to use, and you can follow along with me as we build a use case diagram. Okay, so we're going to break down use case diagrams into 4 different elements: systems, actors, use cases, and relationships. Let's start with systems. A system is whatever you're developing. It could be a website, a software component, a business process, an app, or any number of other things. You represent a system with a rectangle, and you put the name of the system at the top. We're going to build the use case diagram for a very simple banking application. We'll call our system Banking App. This rectangle helps define the scope of this system. Anything within this rectangle happens within the banking app. Anything outside of this rectangle doesn't happen in the banking app. The next element is an actor, which is depicted by this stick figure. An actor is going to be someone or something that uses our system to achieve a goal. That could be a person, an organization, another system, or an external device. So who or what is going to be using our banking app? The most obvious actor is a customer. We are going to have customers that download and use our banking app. Another actor that we'll want in our diagram is the bank. The bank is going to provide information that feeds into our banking app, like transactions and account balances. Here are a couple things to keep in mind when dealing with actors. First, it's important to note that these actors are external objects. They always need to be placed outside of our system. Second, actors need to be thought of as types or categories. For our banking app, an actor isn't going to be a specific individual or a specific organization. We won't label our actors as John and Chase Bank. We want to keep things categorical. So right now we're saying that both customers and banks are going to use our app. And this brings up the topic of primary and secondary actors. A primary actor initiates the use of the system, while a secondary actor is more reactionary. So in our example, which actor is primary and which actor is secondary? The primary actor is customer. The customer is going to initiate the use of our system. They're going to pull out their phone, open up our banking app, and do something with it. Bank, on the other hand, is a secondary actor. The bank is only going to act once the customer does something. If the customer goes on the app to see how much money is in their account, only then does the bank engage with our system to provide the balance. Primary actors should be to the left of the system, and secondary actors should be to the right. This just visually reinforces the fact that customer engages with the banking app and then the bank reacts. The next element is a use case, and this is where you really start to describe what our system does. A use case is depicted with this oval shape, and it represents an action that accomplishes some sort of task within the system.
So use case is basically how the diagram is labeled. Use case is the most important part here. The actors, the primary or secondary, are reacting to it. So the way I look at a functionality, the functionality is important to depict. That's what I'm trying to present. Okay, I'm presenting actors because those initiate and those support. So if there's no actor, there's no event, there's no functionality, right? I'm talking about prime actor. And if there's no secondary actor, well, secondary actor is kind of reactionary. So secondary actor is basically whenever the primary actor initiates. So these sequence also does make an important part, because that's how you basically build the progress of functionality on it. So this progress, which is basically coming from flowchart or activity diagram or process flow diagrams, I'm trying to depict it in a scientific way. So I'm trying to use these symbols to depict it and basically share my thoughts across the group of people. That's the prime use of use case diagram. Okay, and it's called use case diagram, not actors diagram. It's a use case diagram, even not system diagram. It's called use case diagram. So all these oval shapes are the most crucial part of it. Okay,
They're going to be placed within the rectangle because they're actions that occur within the banking app. So what is our banking app going to do? We're going to keep things very simple. Our banking app is going to allow a customer to log in, check their account balance, transfer funds between accounts, and make payments towards bills. So if this is what our banking app does, we're going to have use cases that describe each of those actions. We'll have a use case called login, another called check balance, another called transfer funds, and finally make payment. You can see that each of these use cases starts with a verb and reinforces an action that takes place. We also want them to be sufficiently descriptive. If this use case just said transfer, that'd be too vague. Finally, it's good practice to put your use cases in a logical order when possible. That's why we put login at the top. That's the first thing that will happen when a customer uses our banking app. The final element in use case diagrams are relationships. An actor, by definition, is using our system to achieve a goal. So each actor has to interact with at least one of the use cases within our system. In our example, a customer is going to log into our banking app. So we draw a solid line between the actor and the use case to show this relationship. This type of relationship is called an association, and it just signifies a basic communication or interaction. A customer is going to interact with the rest of these use cases as well. They're going to check balance, transfer funds, and make payment. So we'll draw solid lines out to each of those as well. Secondary actors will also have relationships. Remember, each actor has to interact with at least one use case. So which use cases will the bank interact with? When a customer wants to check their balance on the app, the bank is going to provide the correct amount. Let's draw a line between bank and check balance. Similarly, when a customer wants to transfer funds or make a payment, the bank is going to follow through with those transactions. We don't need to draw a line to log in because that process happens within the banking app. There's no need for the bank to actually get involved with the login process. There are three other types of relationships in addition to association. There's include, extend, and generalization. Let's build out this diagram with additional use cases in order to explain these types of relationships. When a customer types in their login information, our banking app is going to verify the password before completing the login process. But if the password is incorrect, the banking app is going to display an error message. So let's create two new use cases for verify password and display login error. When a customer wants to transfer funds or make a payment, our banking app is going to make sure there's enough money to complete those transactions. So we'll also create another use case called verify sufficient funds. And finally, when a customer wants to make a payment, our banking app is going to give them the option of paying from either their checking account or their savings account. So we'll create two more use cases called pay from checking and pay from savings. Let's circle back to this verify password use case and talk about relationships again. How does verify password relate to the rest of the diagram? Neither of our actors are directly initiating this action. It's just immediately going to happen within our banking app every time there's an attempt to log in. This is an include relationship. An include relationship shows dependency between a base use case and an included use case. Every time the base use case is executed, the included use case is executed as well. Another way to think of it is that the base use case requires an included use case in order to be complete. When you have an include relationship, you draw a dashed line with an arrow that points towards the included use case. So in our example, login is the base use case, and verify password is the included use case. Every time a customer logs in, our banking app will automatically verify password. This login use case won't be complete unless verify password is complete. So we draw a dashed line with the arrow pointing towards the included use case, and we write include in double chevrons. The next type of relationship is the extend relationship. An extend relationship has a base use case and an extend use case. When the base use case is executed, the extend use case will happen sometimes, but not every time. The extend use case will only happen if certain criteria are met. Another way to think of it is that you have the option to extend the behavior of the base use case. When you have an extend relationship, you draw a dashed line with an arrow that points towards the base use case. In our example, login is a base use case, and display login error is an extended use case. Our banking app won't display a login error message every time a customer logs in. This will only happen once in a while when a customer accidentally enters an incorrect password. Since this is an extend relationship, we draw a dashed line with an arrow that points to the base use case and write extend between double chevrons. Hopefully, this thoroughly explains the difference between include and extend relationships. But just in case, here's a very basic example to help differentiate between the two. If you sneeze, you will close your eyes. That's an included relationship because it's going to happen every time. Additionally, if you sneeze, you might say, excuse me. That's an extended relationship because it supplements the sneeze, but isn't completely necessary in the sneezing process. Just remember that include happens every time, extend happens just sometimes, and don't forget that the arrows point in opposite directions. One quick thing to note is that multiple base use cases can point to the same included or extended use case. For example, both transfer funds and make payment are going to point to verify sufficient funds as an included use case. We want our banking app to make this check every time either of these base use cases occur. You don't need to duplicate the verify sufficient funds use case. The simpler your diagram, the better. The last type of relationship we'll discuss is generalization, also known as inheritance. When you make a payment from our banking app, you can do so from either your checking account or your savings account. In this scenario, make a payment is a general use case, and pay from savings and pay from checking are specialized use cases. You could also use the terms parent and children. Each child shares the common behaviors of the parent, but each child adds something more on its own. To show that this is a generalization, we draw this type of arrow from the children up to the parent. You can have generalizations on use cases like we have here. You can also have generalizations with actors. In certain scenarios, you might want to distinguish between a new customer and a returning customer. You can make them both children to a general customer actor, which would allow you to have certain behaviors or qualities unique to each of these children. One last shape that we'll quickly talk about is a use case with extension points. You can see an example here. The name of the use case is above the line, and then there are extension points below the line. Extension points are just a detailed version of extend relationships. This use case shows that a customer can set up their profile in our banking app. And then these extension points show us that when a customer is setting up their profile, they'll have the option to navigate to a couple different screens. If a customer is confused, they can go to Profile Help. And if they want details regarding their private information, they can go to Privacy Info. Those extension points branch off to extended use cases. Go to Profile Help and show Privacy Info. We can even add a note to show what sort of conditions would lead to these extension points. Now we have a complete use case diagram with various elements that help explain what our banking app does.
Any confusion at this moment?
No.
Okay, great. And believe me, you need to practice this wherever you do. What I was suggested, basically do something like, we did a small, workshop during the class, making a tea. So build a use case for making a tea, right? So we did that. So you can try that, otherwise, okay. Revati ma'am, could you present your use case now? Have you ever, worked on Zoom to share your presentation? Are you working on a laptop or a mobile? You're on laptop, no? So could you share your, drawing and try to explain it the way she explained it? Could you do that? I'll do stop share, and you can basically share your screen as well. Could you do that? You have to speak a bit loud. I believe volume is down. No problem. Could you go on the top so that there? Could you see share screen scenario? Share screen button at the bottom. Hello. Okay. Anybody have any use case diagram to share? Yeah, I can understand. Her mic is not working properly, I believe. No problem. Anybody else have use case diagram with them to explain, or who they can explain to the group? Okay, let it be. Let's go ahead. We will do this thing whenever we do workshop. So at that time, you need to explain the example which we are basically trying to build. So let's see. Let's go ahead on. Let me go on with this presentation. And so we had a look at receipt charts. I'll present this. I'll paste this link in the chat box so that you can be you can have a look at that tool. It's not a marketing thing, but it's basically it's a good tool. So it's a good tool to have, good tool to basically try to make your hand dirty rather than pen and paper. But if you're okay with pen and paper, I'm fine with that too. Only communication or conveying our thought is the most important part, right? So that's why we are going to share our thought. We are going to share our overall ideas, vision, mission to other guys. Okay. Google also trying to build a tool on use case diagram. It's not really looking good, but we can try on that, right? Hi, welcome Revati.
Yes, I.
Wow. Today is not your day, I believe. Please don't worry. We are learning together, so it's a part of overall thing. So please don't sweat yourself. Do you think you could present, or could we continue? Whatever you say, you can type in the chat box as well, no problem. This is like in I think second or third session we couldn't record, or even I couldn't get on, so Devji has to sign in, and then letters and all those things. So this thing happened with the technology. We need to bear with us. As in business analysis, not getting down by the problem is also one of the most important thing. I don't know if you ever seen the video on the YouTube of Bill Gates presenting Windows 95 launch, right? If you ever get time, have a look at that. Why I'm trying to tell you, he is presenting to around 136 countries, right? And the Windows 95, when it starts, there was the first window where you had this, start screen at the left bottom. This architecture is stolen from Apple system. It's a OS on Apple. We stole this as in Windows from Apple. We have a start button on the bottom of left hand side, right? And he clicked on that start button, and the screen glows book blue, illegal operation performed, and computer hanged. And this is live launch of a most thought product, most envisioned product, which is marketed by so many companies across globe, and it failed or it's stuck, right? So what he says, see, this is how we work. This is what the life is all about. This is how there are problems, and we should or must come out of it to get our work done. These are the tools we use to get our work done. So if there is a challenge with tools, think it through, step back and start again. So that's how we do as a business analyst, because business analyst is a very visual role. So whenever you go to present, there could be CEO, CFO, MDs, the top ranking official from client and within your organization as well. So this is really matter to keep your calm. If we can do it, we'll do it. If you can't do it, let's find a way to do it. So those kind of scenario. So your overall, what you can say, your calmness does matter a lot. And there are lots of agitated people around us, believe me. Whenever you work in corporate America, whenever you work in Indian corporate, companies, there are lots of agitated people. Means they couldn't get sleep, they couldn't get whatever coffee brand they like, and so on and so forth. So there could be any reason for agitation. So you need to keep your calm and you need to present yourself. So don't worry. Revati, do you think you could present? I'll take it as a no. Okay. So let's try to understand this. Another use case diagram. This is basically a person ordering a food, right? A person orders a food. He orders, a wine, or he can order quite a few things. But let's say he orders food, and chef notes that thing, right? And basically, chef cooks the food for him, and then he might call a waiter, or he might call service guy and serve the food to the give the food to the waiter, and waiter can serve the food to the client, right? He eat food, he drink wine, whatever he does, and then he pays to the cashier. Now predominantly client should be on this side, waiter and cashier should be on this side. So there is a problem in this, and I have kept it like this because it's really you who wants to understand who is the actual primary actor and who is secondary actor. Okay. But there's, again, I'm saying you are explaining a vision, so there's no right or wrong, but the depiction is not in conformance with the UML. So unified standard notifications are skewed in this diagram. So there's a non-conformance. We don't say you're wrong. It says it's non-conformance with the unified modeling language. Okay, so just try to understand these things. And these are basically diplomatic way to talk, and this is basically diplomatic way to present. And even if you have error in your presentation, take it as a special stress point to explain, so that others will remember. Believe me, whenever you help somebody, he or she might forget, but when you put an error to it, he or she remembers it throughout his or her life. This is our experience, right? And that's what it's leveraged here. So we have a client, we have a cashier, we have a client as a prime actor, we have a waiter and a cashier, and a chef as a secondary actor. That's the whole ball game of this use case diagram. Okay. Now Rudra and I believe Sheetal, right? Or who else were basically, trying to means who had a challenge with. Okay, I have not stopped this. Okay? Sorry, pardon me.
Can
I
I
was
make a
started
correction to
explaining.
that statement?
Come again, please.
I said, can I make a correction to that statement?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Just give me a minute. I'll start the share again because I think it was still on a video. Could you see the use case diagram?
When someone creates an error, you remember the solution for life. You don't remember
Yeah, the good deeds, right? Say if you're helping your girlfriend to carry her bag for let's say 6 months, and one time the bag falls from your shoulder, she will remember that day and time. Believe me, try this. Oh, sorry, don't try it. Believe me, this happens. This is a normal human psychology. Means if somebody is keep helping us, we take it for granted. Be it a mother, be it a father, be it a younger or elder sister, a brother. But whenever he or she falls it down, we remember that day and time, saying, "Okay, नहीं, तूने ये नहीं किया था तब, मेरे को याद है अच्छी तरह से." ये होता है. This is human psychology, right? And so we remember the shortcomings more clearly than the good deeds. But yeah, I don't want to make satire on anybody. This is a life, and this is how we evolve. So the main part, as in BA, you should diplomatically handle the mistakes as well, rather than keep getting baffled, keep getting stuck in anything. I have also explained this thing earlier, but I have not told you problem, and nobody have basically pointed out, but that's okay. It's a part of learning, right? The only prime actor here is the client, not the waiter, not a cashier. These are all belongs to the right side of the diagram. Okay, any confusions here?
No.
Sorry, sir, for not replying you. I was on laptop and my laptop not
Relax.
working.
I can understand. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There are problems, no need to be sorry, right? We are learning together, we are growing together. No need to be sorry. And these things happen, even this thing happened with me. Even this thing happened with Bill Gates also. Have a look at those videos. Really, you'll feel you're great. Because guy like Bill Gates, when he was top, means he was the most rich person, he was the most best salesman around the globe, and the Windows 95 fails. It is really, and the way he handled it really, I almost at that moment I was online because I was in IT, I was a solution architect. I was in Belgrade, Yugoslavia at that time, and this OS was basically, I was working for a photographers association at that time, and we had around I think 6 to 7 people sitting in our office. It was a bit of late for us, but yes, we stayed on because we want to watch it together and understand how Windows 95 will look like. It was a stole from Apple system, that's okay, no problem. But the way he presented, and on top of it, everything just froze down. While presented to 136 countries online, and it just froze. Believe me, and good old days, there were not many heroes or not many persons who could do this, who could achieve this. Presented to so many guys at once. So they enacted a huge infrastructure at that time. Nowadays, Zoom, you can do click, click, click. But in those good old days, to make a video call was a mammoth task. Means we used to pay, when I was in Patni, we used to pay around, I think, 600 rupees per hour in additional some cost to just make an half an hour call. And it's costly at that time. But now it's really cheap. Means, you just click, 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 and there are, many free tools or open system tools also available, right? So those kind of scenario. So try to watch that video. It really gives you, even it gives me goosebumps now. Like, the way he handled the situation. So handling situation as an BA, you present to all top bosses, top boss through within your organizations and top boss from client as well. Because we are building a product, we are building an engagement, we are starting or sharing a vision to the technical team. That's how crucial the role is, right? I couldn't stress more enough. So please don't be sorry. Just try to take it in a fun or a positive way. Okay. Any confusion on the use case as of now? Rudra, are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, sure. Sheetal, am I, basically, was the correct name who just joined late on the training?
No, I didn't join late. I was They're from
Okay, sorry, not Sheetal. What's your name, ma'am? You joined on phone, I believe, right?
Rupanjali?
Rupanjali, sorry. Huh? Rupanjali, did you get the gist of the use case diagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you make me a favor? Could you build a use case diagram for making tea? You do cook. You do make tea, right? Make tea or coffee, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just try to think it through. Build a use case diagram for T. We had, did that this because that's the simplest thing you do, right? And you every morning. Now, what use
Yeah.
case diagram teach us overall to improve our life, to overall, go and beyond to improve our life in day to day. So, that's how we can reflect the whole thing in our day to day life, and that's how we improve ourselves. So, try to depict a use case of making a tea. And Rudra, whatever you like, you can make a use case diagram of whatever process you feel is near and dear to you. It can be making tea, as we discussed, or whatever you want to make it. I'll leave it up to you. And next class, I'll give you 10 minutes to present your use case. Okay, so try to jot in as many details as you can. Try to think about the alternative path. Try to think about the actors and secondary actor. Think it like you and your better half, or you and your brother wake up in the morning and you make tea or coffee for them, right? So you drink it together. So we have a prime actor and we have secondary actor as well. Just to make two human actors. Okay. Chalo, let's move on. Simple enough, right?
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Yes.
I have small doubt about this. What you in use case diagram? You said that primary is a waiter, client, right? Client, cashier.
No, client is a prime actor.
But yeah, client is a primer, and because of he's going to pay the food, going to pay
No,
for food, right? He's a primer.
ma'am, it's not about paying. It's about initiating the actions.
Initiating that,
Right,
but main it here it is a chef, right? Who are making all those. So what I think it is,
Okay.
yeah.
Good
So
one. Good
sorry,
question.
yeah. Main he's
Good question. Good question.
okay.
So everything is done by shape.
Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. I would really love to have this discussion. Please go ahead.
Yeah, can I share mine and I can talk about?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Let's try to understand. Okay, I'll stop share and please share. Could you share your screen?
Yes, I can share, but have you given me the rights to share all? Like how?
You have to. You are right. Yeah, let me check. So I have to make you host. Yeah. Okay.
No, not host. There is
I
a
made
like.
you host. I made you host. Don't worry. Go ahead.
No, there is an option to share the screen. So
Yeah. Could you see share screen down below?
yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Could you please share?
Can you see my screen?
It's coming up. It'll take. Yeah. I can see yours. We can see your screen. Great. Plus, explain what you're trying to depict. Let's start from there.
Yeah. So it's a cashier and the customer, and customer is a prime actor. Cashier is a second actor, secondary actor. Then barista is here on the right hand side. He's a third actor. Then above barista there is a cook, chef, who is the fourth actor. The primary actor when the customer comes to the cafe, and this cafe is a self-service cafe. Okay,
right.
So there is only cashier. So he visit to the first cashier. He orders his thing, beverages. Okay. So customer went to the cashier. He ordered for the beverages, and he paid. Then cashier enter into the POS system. That what is the order exactly? Then the order conforms to the barista. The barista makes the order. By the time customer comes back to the chair, and when the order is ready, the barista who placed at the counter and announce the customer's name and number, the token number which is given by the cashier. And the time barista, barista announced the name and the token number. Then customer goes to the counter, he picks up his beverages. In between, this is the order which he placed it. Okay. Then
Right.
extended order, if you see, when he visit to the page to the cashier, there is an extended order like snacks. Because he came for the beverages, but still if he needs a snacks, then snacks will confirm order to the cook or chef.
Right.
Okay. Then when he prepares the snacks, if he places the order, that comes to the counter, and then again he wants it. If he order, he picks up the snacks also.
Great.
So
Great.
that is how it is. And
Sure.
this use case diagram ends to the when customer picks up the beverages or the snacks.
Right. I believe you have to put down arrows. Normally we put arrows, then the connectors. You just put, there are a couple of arrows I can see, because, sequence does play an important part in use case diagram. So there should be arrows. Okay. And another thing, prime actor on left, secondary actor on right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And in between the system boundaries. So these three things. Anyone want to discuss anything on top of that? So everyone understood what Santosh have explained. It's really good effort, and Santosh, it's really great. Means we are getting there, and this is kind of improvement which we should discuss. So whenever you present this thing to the next group, you'll draw those things, right? It's just small things basically we missed out.
And
okay. I'll come to Excel later. Santosh, just hold on. We'll come to Excel later. Okay. Could you please make me the host again?
You made me the host. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's the simplest way to get this thing done.
Stop sharing. Then I'll go to
right click on my name and just make me host. Right click and you'll see more something.
Yes, it is.
Take your time. It's not in a hurry.
Yeah, you are the host.
Okay.
Just hold on. Just let me hit the yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm there. Thank you. No problem. I need to again see, how to basically do things. Again, just coming back to questions, right? So
next time when sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead, please.
Next time whenever you like, if anybody want to share the screen, you can click on the share screen below, which is a red icon, and and there like commands comes like if you want to allow share everybody, or if you want to allow any particular person.
Okay.
That comes. Yeah. Later on we can take it out.
Sure, no problem. Note and okay, let it be. To answer your question, the guy who initiate, the guy who start the whole thing is a prime actor, right? And normally all the others are secondary. You could have an association of primary actors, as we seen in the video. There could be what you can say, repeated customer. There could be customer who already paid, or booked order, or advanced booked order customers, or something. But the type of a person should be same. And you can have another use case diagram if you want to really depict chef as a prime actor, because yes, he is doing certain things. He is initiating. Whenever you get order, he start building. Let's say he start getting beverage from the storage. He start cooking, let's say pizza for this guy. He start cooking some burger for this guy. So chef is a creator, but the overall use case is for ordering system or the customer's order execution. So the client customer is a prime actor. All the others are in a supporting mode. Okay, because there's another prime need of a system requirement to understand system from the user's perspective, or usability engineering, that's what they call it. So understanding the system functionality from the user's perspective is the main goal of use case diagram, right? This is a philosophy. So once you know the user, you could do everything for him, or whatever is not needed by the user is a not prime thing. So those kind of thought process we are building in use case diagram. Okay, any confusion on use case?
No.
Okay, great. Go ahead, please.
Oh, no.
We're good, right? I'll go ahead then. Chalo. So we've seen use case. There are certain things, it's really evolved tool. It's getting matured for 20 odd years. And you're basically trying to create a functional execution for the requirement from the perspective of users. It's relatively easy to build use case. Just you need pen and paper and just there are four or five symbols. It's not critical. So it's really easy to explain, easy to present as well. You can just paste that diagram if you're talking, or you can draw that diagram on a board in few minutes. So it's really simple, and that's why use case have a really good market spread all across the world. Okay, what we do, we have a name. So our actor's name is also important. The use case description, whatever you put in few words in those oval shape, those are also important. Actors and list of actors, primary, secondary, that's also really important. That drives the whole use case. Now on top of that, we can build a preconditions, like we talked about registered user or unregistered user. We can depict the flow of event. We can break the use case in multiple sequential flows. The arrows are important. We need to depict the arrows because then I know which is come first, which comes second, and so on and so forth, right? And then post condition. What happens when he takes the order? Okay, the system closed down, as simple as the end of the sequence. Okay, so that has to be indirectly presented in a use case. Any confusion at this moment? Okay, great. So I believe you understood use case. This is one of the most prime tool as an BA you are going to use on job. So as much as you spend time right now, as much as time we spend right now to understand these two tools, Excel and use case, we are good to go. There are other tools as well, but you can, if you understand the philosophy, if you understand the gist behind this tool, you could do them very easily. No worries. Okay, chalo, let's move on. We had done this. Then yeah, we talked about SRS, right? We talked about VRD, SRS, ownership, the traceability part of it. You have the templates, right, with you? Have anybody gone through those templates? No, just go through those template. We talked about the traceability. So we are trying to build the traceability from requirement to actual functionality. And actual functionality has to be verified by the testers, the quality control guys, right? So they build the test cases on base of the functionalities you prepare, the functionalities which are unified in functional specification. You create the base for the functional specification document as in system specification document. So single entity, single bullet point from a client side, which included in SRS can be multiple functionalities in our FRS. So it's a one-to-many, but all these functionality have to be tested, have to be verified so that we will make sure whatever requirement came from a client is implemented in the product, project or services. And that's how we make sure the customer satisfaction is there, because whatever customer asks, if you ask 16 things, I have developed all the 6 things and the things which can do a value add as well. So that's also another thing. As an BA, you could add a value to the business. You can make the customer happy all and above your duties. That's also thing, but that's a kind of next step which we'll discuss at our very last workshop of after the training, last training, so that how we can add a wow factor to overall our documentation as well. Okay, the template is there. Only there are a couple of additional things which we do as an BA to make above and beyond our duty, or above and beyond our thought process, basically, right? We started Excel, easy to use, everybody know because everybody has Excel and so on and so forth, right? So we've seen around quite a few major Excel worksheet, formulas, tables and all those things. Now let's do one thing. Who wants to go first on overall showing their okay, let me try to do that sharing thing again. Come on. Okay, I need to stop share, I believe, first, right? How do I? Okay, I'll stop share. Now what I have to do, I have to go to, who wants to go first? Santosh, I'll make you, I think Santosh have stepped out, or I couldn't see Santosh here. Santosh, are you there? Hello?
No, I think he is not. Let me check.
Okay,
What?
no problem. Who wants to go first for presenting their Excel work? Usha?
Yes, I can go.
Okay, asked to start a video, make a host, allowed to record. I really couldn't see anything, wait a minute. Share screen. Okay. Could you see a button called share screen at the bottom of your, thing?
Yes.
Okay, could you please share your Excel sheet? Or have you made presentation? That will be well and good.
I have just made the Excel sheet.
No problem, no problem. I can understand.
So where I can find the Excel sheet? This one? Actually, what I have.
Uh-huh. You're on laptop, right?
Yes, I'm on laptop.
Okay, open the Excel sheet and then say start share. And then you'll see Excel application. So share that application.
Okay. Start share or just share?
No. First, open the Excel sheet. Is the Excel sheet open on your laptop?
Yes.
Now start share.
Can you see it?
Okay, we could see your screen. Wow, great.
Okay.
Okay, could you please explain the table first?
Okay, so I have made this table as you have
Could you
mentioned.
zoom in, please? Yeah, you have to zoom in because it's, we couldn't go to the right.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Zoom in a bit more, please. Yeah, I believe, yeah, that's okay. Can everybody see the numbers and, the text? Wow, this is really good. It looks really good on the, video. You can see the recording afterwards, no problem. Yeah. Please go ahead.
So this is the house expenses, what usually everyone have it in the house. So like you have your home installment or your rent. So I have made it this $2,500, then groceries, then phone bills, internet bills, shopping, car insurance, which everyone pays.
Right.
So groceries, like normally we always have a budget of 5 to 550. So I have made it like, okay, what is expected and what is actual, what we spent it.
Perfect.
So phone bill is like 100, internet. Those are the fixed. There would be no ups and downs. So shopping, like I did it for 200 as my expected, but I'm very shopaholic, so I did it for 350.
Diwali time. Or,
No, every month is Diwali for me.
Okay, that's good. We should have those kind of life. But yeah,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Yeah, and in the entertainment part, I have put it like when we go out for any, outing, if you're going eating outside, any movie or any kind of entertainment. So I just put a random number of $250, but it was extra 100 with what I paid. Then after doing all that, I just did the total. My target was like 5,770, and which was like exceeded by $1,520. So like I have to take care of this $1,500.
Right.
So I have shown that in
Just give me a
different.
minute, please. Just give me a minute. Santosh, what happened? Okay. No problem. Basically, we'll try to understand presentation, Excel presentation from everybody. You can go next time. Don't worry. This thing happens. Don't worry. Okay? And we'll repeat also. Don't worry. Please don't worry. Sure. Thanks. Bye. No problem. No, nothing to be sorry. It happens. Okay? Sure. No problem. Pardon me, guys. Santosh lost the internet and all. So, he had a bit of this thing. So, he might not be able to join. I don't know. Some problem with the internet. So, please go ahead. Sorry. Pardon me for that.
So I have shown it in different forms of charts. Like the first one is a donut chart. So what I just did, I just clicked on this part, just this one. And then I went to the pie chart part, and there is an option of a donut chart. So I just clicked it, and if I want to change the colors and all, I can do that. And it is showing everything like, okay, this color is for this color is for this. So that's how the donut chart is made. And the same way the pie chart, I'll just went the same place, and I took the 2D pie chart. So we can show it in 2D or 3D. So for me, like 2D looks good. So I just took the 2D chart and I made it.
Sure.
So the same way other charts also I made. So you want, because I'm a little confused with the names till now.
No,
What kind of
that happens. That's the learning we need to do. So which chart do you like and why?
To me, actually, normally, like I like pie charts more because that's the charts I usually make in my work also.
Right.
And yeah, and this donut chart kind of thing also I like, because this is the one what we usually make. And the third one is the column chart, because in my work also most of the time either I use the pie chart or the column chart.
Right.
So
Even my personal favorite is a pie chart, but pie chart with those details. Could you go to the pie chart again, select the pie chart?
Yeah.
And go to the pie chart, where you select the chart type. Could you please go there? Yeah, pie chart.
Yeah,
okay, go to the next one, the right one. Move to the right. Move your mouse to the right. Yeah, one more. Now click there. Could you see the difference? Could you make it larger? Just pull the box by the make it larger. Yeah, this way. Click on the pie chart only. Let it be there. No issues. Or you can copy to the next sheet.
Okay, we can do that.
Paste it. Could you please make it bigger?
Yes.
Yes. I like this thing because there's an analysis attached to this on the right hand side, and we can create those labels.
But there are like only 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So what are these 4 things? The 4 boxes.
These are basically comparison within that. They should be attached to the blue, I believe. There is some, could you click on that, stack of, the right stack that, yeah.
Aren't those the 4 that exceeded price?
Right, exactly. The deviation part of it.
Okay.
So they try to basically analyze the deviation from the standard.
Okay.
I want just play around with this, and this is really important. This is what learning we do. There are quite a few others available, but here we are trying to see the deviation from the standardization, so we can analyze it much better. We can present it much better, and you can just copy this thing in PowerPoint as well.
Okay.
Okay, and try that thing whenever you have free time. This is really good efforts, and I really like the way you explained as well.
Thank
so
you.
how you can convey the thoughts to others. Does anybody wants to have any details, or who couldn't understand? Any confusion on these charts of Usha presented?
She explained very well. I just got the idea how to explain that kind chart.
Great. Do you want to go next?
Thank you.
Yeah. Could you please stop share, Usha, so that she can start sharing? Yeah. Please go ahead.
Did stop share.
Thanks, Usha. It's really great, and it's really good effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who was that? I couldn't catch the name. Oh, man. Could you do? Could you start sharing? Could you start? If you go down, there will be a share screen. You can start Excel and start sharing that screen.
All of the ones in the chat were really nice.
Come again, please.
All of the ones that you guys put on the group were really good.
Oh, thank you. No, that's why I'm saying, the picture is good. Only thing is that explanation also does matter a lot, right? Because picture looks good, great, and I can clearly understand that. But to present that, that's the art. That's what, as in BA, we do. So creating good picture, yes, that's a part of thing. But explaining is also, basically, it's kind of overall the cream on the cake kind of scenario. So the better you explain, the best way to understand, how the things are running or what you actually perceive as a vision mission, right? Okay, who wants to go for, next? Who have their Excel sheet ready and who are on laptop? Why I'm saying laptop because on phone it's really difficult to present. It's good to understand, good to listen to, but those things.
Is it good in
Maybe
tab?
Come again, please.
Is it good in tab? Actually,
Yeah, you can do on tab as well, no problem. Could you see the share screen at the bottom?
yeah, share content. There is a share content.
Yeah, so share content.
And there is a photo. I can upload the photo. Sorry.
Okay,
And
you can do with photo also, no problem. Let's try to do that.
screen.
Normally the application is better, but yes, photo will also
Yeah,
do.
I'll okay.
No problem.
Sorry. It's like
Take your time.
it's can there is bookmark white. Sorry, I'm wasting time. Sorry.
No, it's not like that. See, we are learning, right? And even the others who are not, who couldn't see your screen, they are still thinking, how can I do it? Or, how better I can do it. And this is a part of, growing up. This is part of learning. This is part of training. So don't be sorry. And, please don't be apologetic for that. Even learning Zoom is a kind of requirement. Learning Zoom, learning Google Meet, how to present, and it will be a kind of need of the job because we are going to work on these, right? We are going to work on Zoom, we are going to work on Google Meet, we are going to work on WebEx, Cisco web meetings. They're all similar pretty much. But if you know one or two tool, and if you could able to present, that's kind of need of the hour because we are going to work remotely, right? That's the overall because of this pandemic and whole scenario. So we need to understand, we need to learn these things as well. So it's a part of life. So if somebody is trying to start presentation, it might take a minute or two. Just be patient. I can understand that. Could you able to do that? Okay.
Sorry, I lost connection there. Sorry.
It happens, no problem. Even Santosh couldn't join. He also had a problem with the network.
can I explain?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
go
sure.
ahead.
You go on. Yeah. Next, you go on.
You have to do stop share first so that she can start share, I believe. Or is it? No, the sharing haven't started. So please go ahead. Start share.
So
Yeah.
she can. I think in tab it's difficult to share might be, and tomorrow let me try.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
I can
Laptop
try.
is the best. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
This is good.
So is it
Yeah, it's visible.
okay? So this is like my house expenses sheet.
Mhm.
So do you want me to like increase it, zoom the size?
Yeah, kind of overall, try to explain what you try to, what does those figures mean to you?
Okay, so this is like the monthly expenses. So like few things are like fixed, like the rent, maintenance, phone bill. These are like expenses what I expect, and they are the same. And few things there, like you see the grocery and entertainment, gas, shopping. They are like what I expect is not the same. So there is like some also, if you see there, the difference is at the end for $400.
Right.
So make the chart. So this is a pie chart which I make with the actual expenses, not the expected one. So for that, I just click here. I select my table. Then I went to the pie chart. I selected the same 2D pie chart.
Perfect.
So even I also went for the first one, but you said like this is the better one, right?
Yeah, this is kind of, next level. See, you're trying to learn, right? So I don't want to go to the nth level difficulty. This is a bit of difficult things. So, the first one is okay, no problem. You could do it, but we could learn afterwards, no problem. See, we're going to learn these things. We're going to also understand what the next table means and when to use that stuff as well. So don't worry on that part. Let's start with the basic right now.
Okay. So I can see from there, I can see that these are actual expenses.
Right.
And that difference, if I want to see, if I go there, if I apply this is the difference.
Wow,
and
great.
If I, what are the actual, what I showed, and this is the expected one.
Right.
So I think I can filter from here.
Great.
So I will keep it like this.
You are doing things which we haven't discussed, we haven't taught. You selected the complete table rather than label and a value. Because what we discussed yesterday, a label and a value. So first column, but you have selected the complete table, so you could play around. So these are basically how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 charts which we are discussing, and that's how you are able to compare them as well on the fly. This is a kind of next level. This is kind of advanced level, charting. It's really good. It's really good that you learn on your own, and this is what is the best thing to do. And this is what the kind of evolution of a BA. Okay, so this is really great, and hats off to you. You did really a wonderful job. Believe me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the other one. So here is okay.
Okay, so this one, like, I was like little confused with this line, I made this chart. What this line is here? Can you explain me this?
Same thing.
See, there is a normal averaging out, and this is kind of trend analysis. So what Excel is trying to show you the trend, how the things are moving. And normally, the way Excel works, this is also kind of learning for everybody to understand how Excel plots the trend to. It's normally depends on the first column of whatever you selected, right? So the trend is how gradually it's increasing, and it puts in a gradual way. Let's say from rent is your highest, and then the he's talking about the total addition, how the things got added one by one, and those scenario. So rent was almost 1,500. It's the things got added one by one, and at the end of the day, the total was around 35550. So it's almost reaching 4,000 figure. It's just below the 4,000 mark. So this is a kind of trend of your expenses, trend of your first column numbers, which he trying to depict in a line, a gradual increase.
Okay.
Do you got me? Means I know it's a bit difficult because we haven't really put much thought on trend analysis. Trend analysis you will do whenever you try to do research and development, because then you present the data. So it's like January, February, March. I know the data. Now I want to understand where I'll be when I'll reach April, May, June. So I extend those data. I pull those figure out, and I'll try to build the future. Try to plan my expenses for the future. So these are the trend analysis. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. No problem. That's good. That's good.
I guess.
Bar chart.
Yeah. So here also, I think it is showing what are the actual and what the expected ones.
That's right. There are 3 of those, right? So there's a expected, actual, and the difference.
Yeah.
No problem.
And this is like the third one. It's like again actual expenses.
The donut chart, right?
Yeah, you same problem with me.
You need to required to remember the name. So please say the name so that everybody knows and we'll also remember. The pie chart, the bar chart.
Lots of charts. Yeah. So it's a little bit confusing.
So this is a donut chart, right?
Right.
And it shows what is the major expense, like the rent is the major part of the expense. Then then after that, see, after rent, this this green thing. This is grocery.
Right. The
Then,
second one, second most,
then
right.
yeah, I mean, it is showing what is the major part of expenses.
Right. Kind of comparison with others. That's right.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. That's
And
really great effort, and the thanks to you, and you put in these things, and this is really, believe me, this is going to get useful in our overall training as an being BA as well. Thanks a lot for that. Anybody else want to go ahead? Do you have some more to explain?
no, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, great. Most welcome. Most welcome. This is really good effort. Thanks a lot for that. Could you please do stop share so anybody else can start share?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, sure. Please. Anybody else want to go ahead? Yeah. Could you please try again, Rushna?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, I normally use the name whichever depicted here.
Sorry, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
It's shuffling. So tomorrow I'll be in
No,
laptop, so I can share.
Again, okay, okay. I can call you Roshna, right?
No, thank you.
No, okay. Rudra, have you got a time to work on Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay. Could you present next?
Oh no, I didn't actually do it. But I
Okay.
have.
Could you please do it so that next time we could even listen from you? You know the gist of the thing, right? We're trying to build something like expenses for last couple of weeks, and we'll try to present it to the group and try to analyze. It might not be the actual things, but the main motto here is to learn and understand Excel, so that learn and understand presenting it as well, for that matters.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so next time, please, let's have you. And even use case will be helpful, because use case is the basic requirement capturing document as well, most of the times. So if you can do a use case, it will really help you in long term. So that's overall what I'm really want to understand. How do you think of a use case? Could you plot it? Could you get this thing done? Will you able to share, Pawni? Or could you do start share at the bottom? Could you click on start share?
Not me, right?
No, yeah. I think she's having some challenge of sharing this thing basically. Yes. Okay. Now we can see. Oh wow.
It's me, I
You're
think.
capturing through camera, I believe. Wow.
It's
See,
me,
this is a
sorry.
new way of presenting it. No problem. Please go ahead.
It's Revati. I'm sharing from via my phone, so I'm not on laptop, so I can't play with that sheet. It's just picture.
Oh, it's a picture. Okay, no problem. Great.
Yeah.
No problem. Could you please explain us? Yeah.
It's the home expense. My actual budget was 2,250, but it was extended by I think 2,680. So 430. I spent some extra in this month, and I selected that home expense, but actual these three B, C, and D row I have selected, and I made that kind chart, donut chart, one pie chart, bar chart, and the first one what we call, I don't know, the first blue color
Even I
chart.
don't remember. I don't remember the name. I need to have a look at that. Your donut chart looks really good, because the way you labeled it, and this is really innovative thing which we would really love to do. Could you see? Means everyone, could you see the donut chart?
Yes.
We have the label inside the donuts. it really flash out as an this is a really good thing to do.
Okay.
You can do same
Does
thing
it
in
give an
pie chart
option
as well.
to
Sorry.
insert the titles within the donut Does it give an option like that?
Yeah, there are options like that.
With the chart option, so I got that kind because I was doing
I'll
this
try.
first.
Yeah.
I did first time, so
Very nice for the first time.
thank you.
Yeah, it's really good one. It's really nice. Okay, so this is really a good thing to learn, and this is how we learn. No problem. Anybody else want to go ahead?
So may I stop share this? So
Yeah, please. Sure.
Yeah.
It is really great effort. Thanks a lot, Riti.
Thank
I
you. Sir.
can right now. I entered into laptop, so I can.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going desktop and yeah.
Yeah, you have to click on new share, and then you can select the application, I believe. Yeah, application, Excel. Okay, share. Yeah, that's right.
Sharing the screen.
It takes a minute.
Okay. Oh my god, what's happening? Start video.
It's taking more than a minute. It's coming up.
Oh, I'm totally wasting your time. Sorry.
I'll also share a link of how to. I believe I have a. Let me check out. I have a okay.
Can I ask what OS that is?
Just try to search this thing on YouTube, and you'll find a video of how to use Zoom, and it have all the basics, floras and phonas, or requirement of how to present in Zoom, how to create or how to start a meeting, and so on and so forth. So just have a look at it. It's around 10 minutes video or something.
Did you got my screen? Did you see my screen?
Yeah, it's as clean as slate.
Oh.
I think the application is not opening up. I don't know. It's taking a bit longer.
Oh, okay.
Could you do stop share? Just do stop share.
Yeah.
Okay. Now one more thing. Now open the Excel sheet first. Could you see the Excel sheet opened?
Yes.
Okay. Now click on start share.
Application and yes. Yes. Now.
Yes. Now we can see. Chalo,
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
So you have a complete detailed figures, right? Wow.
Yes.
So see, if you have more data, you can get more results, and this clearly depicts the overall thing, and that way we can really build the trend as well. So if you click on the okay, go to the H3, go to the H3 cell H3, H.
Yeah, I'm going to H3. It is like a card.
No, the upper one. The
The red
click,
one.
click. Take you to the right bottom.
Right.
You can see the cursor change. Right bottom, yeah. Whenever your cursors change, same cell, go to the right bottom. Whenever the cursor change to plus, pull it, on your right side.
Okay.
Whenever the cursor change.
Sorry.
Okay, let it be. I want basically to understand the trending, but we will do it later. No issues. Okay, let's explain whatever we have here, please.
Yeah. This is my annual expenses, like 6 months. Whatever we call like semi-annual or annual expenses, like this is my
Sure.
rent for every month. Like it will go the same. So until June, January to June, rent bill goes the same, and car EMI, it goes the
Right.
same too, and insurance 2 it goes the same until June, and health plan, yeah, on January it goes up $400, and February it will change, it goes to less, and again March again it goes the same, and April and the remaining months it goes the same thing, and the gas and the sometimes every month it will goes, yeah, we can go,
Change, right? I know.
yeah, out of the country or out of the state, it takes more gas amount. What like DT is that, yeah, in summer and winter we using a, so sorry, I'm going to detail. Is it good
No,
to
no,
go?
that's okay. That's okay. See, we can understand. Explaining your data, explaining your research is a part and parcel of the BA duty. So,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's not a need here, but it's okay. So it's like, it shows your interest. It shows your, owning the data. Believe me, and that does matter a lot. Please go ahead. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Yeah, DT energy in America, you know that, right? In winter it will be okay, and when it starts, sorry, in winter, it goes a little bit high, the amount that, yeah, every month it'll get fluctuate that amount. Summer it will
Right.
be okay, winter it will goes that, and
Sure, sure.
globally, yeah, we everyone knows that, yeah, so 1 month it will goes high and 1 month it will goes less, yeah, based on us how we are going to purchase that. And mobile the same, starting month it goes at 150, and yeah, February it goes up 100, and yeah, yeah, remaining months the same, and tuition fee and other internet, and 60, some 45, it goes that, yeah, how much we are going to that, and
Okay.
that's the expenses, that's we're going for movie and are going for to eat outside foods, and
Additional expenses,
yeah,
right?
additional expenses, that,
Great.
yeah, and totally it is that, and yeah, this is that, and yeah, and I'm
Good.
going to the bar graphs now.
Right.
uh, yeah, so semi-annual expenses report, what I noted over there, and
Yeah.
the January it goes that, it's see that bar graph, right?
Right, right. Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, and
So you
January,
can analyze, when it's really good on pocket, it is really bad on pocket, and so on and so forth.
yeah, sorry, is it mandatory to write the differences over here, sir?
No,
Because
no,
of
no, no, no.
admin.
Even you can see that, you can analyze the graph, right? You
Oh
can
yeah,
see the bar. January is bigger, February is really good on pocket, June
yes,
is really, going, I'll not say out of hand, but it's going expensive, right?
yes,
So overall, if you look at the trend, right, means you can understand the trend, you can feel the trend.
yes, yes, and June it goes to high to expenses, yeah, and
Exactly.
yeah, and in pi gram, um,
Mhm.
and it goes that January. What
It's
I
pretty much
tried to,
same. Yeah, it's pretty much same because you have really controlled your expenses overall, and that's how say the overall spread is quite even.
yes, I'm
Means
controlling, yeah, the thing, yeah,
exactly.
controlling my expenses, but
Hmm.
I'm trying to control, but
Hmm.
it goes to a little bit high for every month, but yeah, I'm
Hmm.
controlling my expenses,
That's okay.
and yeah, this is first I go to that donut chart, yeah,
Yeah, it's
what is,
really good. It's looking good. Believe me. Means you have put in the overall,
yeah, percentages, yeah, how much I that, yeah, which is a more, which month it
percentage
will
of the
go,
whole, 6 months. It is really good.
6 months,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
those
Hmm.
percentage,
Means last
and
presentation we had the labels. Now you have presented the difference or the comparison overall as an
overall,
pie share of the 100. That's really good. That's really best way.
yeah, this is the donut, and this is the uh, column chart,
Sure.
line chart, yeah,
Mhm.
line chart, and yeah, we can see that on February it goes down, yeah, I controlled over there, and again on June I went out of
Sure.
that.
Great, great,
Yeah,
great.
and
Great. It's really great effort, and thanks to you. You learned the Excel. Believe me, means you understood it very
yeah,
well.
really, because this is the first time I tried over here, and my husband helps
Wow,
me.
this is the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah, this is the first time for me. I tried
Nah,
this, and I know
that's really
because
something. Believe me, that's
when I
really
was
something.
doing in BSc computers, I know that how to manage the. I know that bar graph and all those things, but I'm not pretty much good on that diagrams. First time I'm heard about that donut and that column chart and all. Mostly we see that bar graph only, right? And pie chart. The
Right.
mostly will that those two charts only. But yeah, there is when you said that there is a 10 charts, so I thought, oh my god, there's the 10 charts about that. Yeah, so this is what I
No, this is really good. Great efforts, believe me, great efforts. So you're there means we will learn the charts. That's what I'll say at the end of this thing. It's really good. Sure. Could you please stop the share? Thanks to you, and it's really great effort. It's really great efforts. Believe me. Yes. Anybody else want to go ahead? Okay, let me start. Let me come back to presentation. So it's really good. We've learned a great. Whoever not presented, please spend some time, build something like this, whatever you've seen, and the presentation were really good. And believe me, I'm really thrilled. I'm really feel blessed to have you as an have you as a trainee, and we are learning. Means I really don't have words to explain my happiness right now. It's really good. It's really good. Thanks to you guys. Basically, let's try to do it better, and let's try to if you can work on a pivot table of these tables, you can do. Just try. Whoever have completed with the charts, pivot table is basically kind of making decision on based on those whatever table you have created, right? So just try to play around. You also already have the video of pivot table, so try to play around, try to present your idea, and let's try to discuss those ideas next time whenever we meet, so that we understand on the basis of data how we can present a decisive analysis. So I have the data, I've seen the trends, I've seen how the charts are moving from low to high, high to low. How are the fluctuations overall? I can imagine, I can visually clearly see that. So even if I don't know the exact number, but I know how the gradual increase, gradual decrease is happening month-wise. And if you keep analyzing this, you can really control it well. Believe me, that's the kind of day-to-day thing which we can include in our overall life evolution, life improvement, or that way we can learn our expenses as well. That's what the whole motto, and I think we have succeeded up to a great extent, believe me. Okay, now whoever couldn't do today, please try to do it. We'll spend 10-15 minutes each, and we'll try to build these charts, whatever we've worked on, those things. It's really good. We've seen this thing, we have seen workflow. Should we, what do you say, should we go ahead or should we stop at this moment? I'll ask request for your suggestions.
I'm good with anything.
We can start in next session, I think.
That's what I believe, because now we are going into different tool sets. So whoever haven't done it yet, I would really use these. I think we are around 10-15 minutes, right, to finish this session. To use this 10-15 minutes to do something like create an expense sheet of last 6 months, as you've seen right now. Try to pull out some charts so that I know everybody is busy, and even Rudra and Pauti have to work on that use case diagram as well. So try to do that as well. So take this time and get this done, so that we know how good we are, and you'll also feel appreciated in terms of whatever I learned and how can I present those things. So I want you to learn to present as well, because presentation is also an important duty of a business analyst. We present to very senior people. So whatever you're saying, however you're explaining, does matter a lot. Okay, so let's stop at this moment, and let's come back again day after tomorrow. So today is like today is what day?
Monday.
Today is Monday, right? Yeah, today is Monday. So let's meet on Wednesday again, right? Same time. And I would really appreciate if everybody can present their Excel sheet. Whoever have presented, it's well done, great work. If they can try pivot tables, pivot charts, that's really will be good. But we'll see about those presentation later. But yes, I'll request the others, even I'll message Santosh as well, to present that the things in the next class, so that we can understand how you present, how you talk, how you explain. I know English are good, we can analyze, but the prime thing is present within our group. Let's start on this, and then we'll have a recap of other tools as well. There are hardly 3 or 4 tools left now to basically go through, and then we'll have our workshop. Okay, so your learning is really important. It makes me happy, it makes me proud, make us proud, so that we know something, we learn something, and we are growing. And that's feeling I want you to also have. So let's take this 10 minutes and get these things done, and next time you can present, right? And I have already shown the, I'll just try to basically key in the link of the Zoom meeting also. Just go to YouTube and search for Zoom meeting presentation, and you'll get a number of links. Try to watch those things so you know how to present. But whatever we did it really great, and thanks to you guys. Let's do it again next time, right? So I'll stop on this note, and I would really I would like to have you put in some efforts to try to build this such Excel sheet and try to present in next class. Okay,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure.
thanks a lot. Good night. Bye. Take care.
Thank you. Good night.